Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. I hope everyone is having a nice day before we begin the video. Please subscribe and give the video a thumbs up. General Hospital created a huge build-up to Drew's shooting. It finally happened, but nothing has changed. Drew is alive and still the same sleazy jerk he always was. We knew it was coming. Multiple residents of Port Charles threatened to kill Drew, Cameron Matheson, so it was no surprise when someone finally shot him. The PCPD is investigating, but we know how that goes. They have many suspects, but have been unable to narrow it down to who actually committed the crime. The obvious choice is Michael Rory Gibson, but the culprit is rarely the obvious choice. Then we have Curtis, Donald Turner, Portia, Brooke Kerr, Nina, Cynthia Watrous, Alexis, Nancy Lee Grahn, or Carly, Laura Wright, who all had motive. There is also a good chance it was Willow, Caitlin McMullen, who is definitely losing it. Some have even suggested the shooter is Stella, Vernie Watson, or Marshall, Robert Gossett. It may be any of the above or someone we would never think of. Let's hope the PCPD actually solves this case. Fans couldn't wait for someone to take out the congressman. Some hoped he would die so that we could be rid of him, while some wished for a personality change. He could have woken up with amnesia and not remember anything after his prison beating. There was the belief that he was really Shiloh, Kobe Ryan McLaughlin, and the truth would be revealed after he woke up. Another option was that the Cassadines were again controlling him. None of those happened. Drew survived and is still the same awful person he was before the shooting. Maybe even worse. He is starting his revenge tour, which will begin with framing Michael for trying to kill him. After being thrown out of Monica's funeral, he is out to get every single Quartermain. This is really no different than before. Drew is wreaking havoc throughout Port Charles. Been there, done that. Nothing has changed. Drew is evil, and there are really no consequences to his actions. What was the point of the shooting? Are you frustrated with this storyline? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Drew Kane's shooting on General Hospital has left viewers rattled, confused, and asking a bigger question. What was the point of it all? Longtime fans know that Port Charles is no stranger to shocking acts of violence. But this particular moment has created a storm of speculation. Drew, a character who has faced years of turmoil, reinvention, and life-or-death stakes, once again found himself at the center of an explosive storyline. But was this a narrative masterstroke designed to propel the soap into its next big chapter, or a needless twist that undermines years of careful character building? The truth is likely layered with soap opera tradition, behind-the-scenes decisions, and dramatic storytelling needs that sometimes clash with viewer expectations. The first reaction fans had was pure shock. After all, Drew had already endured countless brushes with death, plane crashes, prison stints, mob wars, and betrayals from those he trusted. The shooting almost felt like déjà vu. But that's what makes soap storytelling both frustrating and addictive. History has a way of repeating itself. By targeting Drew, the writers sent a message that no character, no matter how established, is safe from the ripple effects of ongoing feuds. The attack immediately tied into current rivalries brewing in Port Charles, from mob wars to personal vendettas. Still, viewers were left wondering if this moment was actually meant to advance Drew's arc or serve someone else's. One theory is that Drew's shooting was never really about him. It was about the impact his fate would have on those around him. Jason, Sam, Carly, Sonny, and Willow are all deeply tied to Drew in different ways, and his sudden fall into danger puts each of them under a new kind of pressure. Jason may be forced to confront guilt and responsibility as his brother faces death. Carly, who has leaned on Drew as a partner, must reckon with the fragility of their bond. Willow's family life could implode if Drew's shooting creates fractures between her and Michael. In this sense, Drew's pain becomes the catalyst for other characters' growth, a common soap trope that positions one person's suffering as a storytelling engine for multiple arcs. Another angle to consider is the question of legacy. Drew Kane has often struggled with his identity, standing in Jason's shadow, while trying to carve out his own space in Port Charles. His shooting almost feels symbolic, like another test of whether he can rise above the endless chaos of his family's mob ties and Quatermain heritage. Fans have long debated whether the writers know what to do with Drew. He's been a Navy SEAL, a father, a Quatermain heir, a stand-in for Jason during Steve Burton's absences, and a love interest shuffled between women. The shooting may be the writer's way of forcing a reset, cutting through stagnation, and reintroducing Drew in a new light, either as a survivor stronger than ever, or as a tragic figure whose end reshapes Port Charles forever. But then there's the elephant in the room, behind-the-scenes influence. In daytime dramas, character fates are often tied not just to story needs, but to contract negotiations, actor availability, and fan response. Drew's shooting could be a red herring, a setup for a temporary exit, or a bold attempt to reignite interest in a character that has struggled to maintain steady storylines. If the powers that befell Drew wasn't connecting, the shooting may have been staged as a shocking ratings ploy, knowing that fan chatter increases whenever a core character faces a brush with death. If Cameron Matheson's availability as an actor comes into play, this moment could even mark a turning point in whether Drew remains central, fades into the background, or exits altogether. Still, the emotional fallout can't be ignored. Soap audiences invest years, sometimes decades, into characters. When a character like Drew is suddenly shot, the reaction isn't just about the story. It's about the betrayal or validation fans feel in response. Some see it as lazy writing, a recycled way to generate drama. Others appreciate the stakes, recognizing that soaps thrive on life and death drama that forces families to confront truths they'd otherwise bury. If Drew pulls through, fans may come to see this as a test of his resilience. If he doesn't, his loss could fuel feuds, expose secrets, and ignite long-term storytelling payoffs. Consider, too, the larger canvas of General Hospital. The show is juggling dozens of storylines, from mob wars to medical mysteries to family dramas. Sometimes characters become pawns to move bigger pieces forward. Drew's shooting may tie into larger arcs: Sonny's crumbling empire, Jason's fragile redemption, or Cyrus Renault's menacing grip. By making Drew the target, the writers link him to conflicts that might otherwise leave him floating on the sidelines. This could be their way of securing his relevance, even if it comes at the cost of his safety. The debate ultimately circles back to the central question: was there a point to Drew's shooting? The answer depends on where the story goes next. If the aftermath reshapes Port Charles, triggers surprising alliances, and deepens emotional stakes, then yes, it was a meaningful beat. If it fizzles out as just another who shot who mystery, the audience will see it as wasted potential. For now, all fans can do is hold their breath and speculate, knowing that in the world of General Hospital, no event ever exists in a vacuum. Drew's shooting may feel senseless in the moment, but soaps are a marathon, not a sprint. The true point may only become clear weeks or months from now. In the end, General Hospital thrives on chaos, and Drew Kane's shooting is yet another chapter in the endless cycle of danger and survival that keeps viewers tuning in. Whether it serves as a turning point for Drew, a vehicle for others' growth, or a behind-the-scenes necessity disguised as drama, one thing is certain: fans are talking, and in daytime television, that's often the ultimate point. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our YouTube channel for more update news.